10th CBSE Chemistry, Chapter Carbon and its Compounds. In this video, you will learn about the nature of covalent bond and the covalent bond in carbon. Chemical bonds are of four different types. They are ionic bond, covalent bond, hydrogen bond and metallic bond. Of the four, ionic bond and covalent bond are very strong. Covalent bond is a kind of chemical bond formed by sharing of one or more pair of electrons. Atoms of different elements or the same elements come together, share the electrons between them and form compounds or molecules. Let us understand this by taking an example. Consider the compound CO2, carbon dioxide. Here we see two different kinds of atoms, carbon and oxygen. So one carbon atom and two oxygen atoms combine together to form one molecule of carbon dioxide. Now let us see how they bond with each other. Carbon has an atomic number 6 and oxygen has atomic number 8. The electronic configuration of carbon is 1s2, 2s2, 2p2. The electronic configuration of oxygen being 1s2, 2s2 and 2p4. 1s2 goes to K shell, 2s2 and 2p2 goes to L shell, which is the last shell in carbon. Note that the L shell has 4 electrons, 2 plus 2. Even in oxygen, 1s2 goes to K shell and 2s2 and 2p4 goes to L shell. Here, oxygen has 2 plus 4, that is 6 electrons in the outermost shell or the L shell. So, carbon has 4 and oxygen 6 in the outermost shell. In order to obtain the electronic configuration of the noble gas, that is octet configuration, carbon needs 4 more electrons and oxygen needs 2 more electrons. Octet configuration is a configuration of noble gases in which the last shell has 8 electrons. Observe here, carbon has 4. It needs 4 more to form 8 electrons. Oxygen has 6 and it needs 2 more electrons to form 8 electrons. Now, how do they do that? They do it by sharing the electron pair. Now, let us see how the sharing of electrons occurs between the oxygen and carbon atoms to form one molecule of carbon dioxide. Observe here, there are 3 atoms, 2 oxygen and 1 carbon. So the 2 oxygen atoms bond with carbon by sharing the pair of electrons. We already know that carbon dioxide has 4 electrons. Carbon shares its 4 electrons among 2 oxygen atoms. Oxygen has 6 electrons in its valence shell. So 2 here, and it shares its 2 electrons with the carbon atom. So this is the electrons of the oxygen. So now see that oxygen has 8 electrons, 2 plus 2 plus 4. Here also 2 plus 2 plus 4. So oxygen has 8 electrons. So the octet configuration is achieved. Observe carbon, 4 here and 4 here. 4 plus 4 is 8. Even the carbon obtains the octet configuration. So, by sharing pairs of electrons among each other, both oxygen and carbon obtain the octet configuration, which is the noble gas configuration, and hence become stable. Now, you are familiar with the nature of covalent bond and the covalent bond formed in carbon.